The professional world is rapidly evolving, and at the heart of this transformation is Gen Z. This generation, born between 1997 and 2012, has shaken up the workplace with fresh demands, new priorities, and an entirely different outlook on their careers. But what is it that really drives them?
They're clearly asking for more flexibility. They're asking for work which is meaningful, where they feel like they're making an impact, they're making a difference versus just pushing an Excel from one table to another.
According to a survey by Unstop, a talent engagement and hiring platform, nearly half of Gen Z professionals are planning to switch jobs within just 2 years. Yes, you heard that right, 47%. So what's fueling this job hopping trend, and what does Gen Z actually value in their career? Work-life balance, growth opportunities, and hands-on experience. These are just some of the key factors shaping Gen Z's career decisions. In fact, 47% of them cite work-life balance as a top priority when evaluating potential employers. It's not just about the paycheck anymore. While 71% of HR professionals assume Gen Z jumps ship for better pay, only 25% of Gen Z respondents say that money is their main motivation. Instead, 77% prioritize the role and the company's brand over just the salary. And what has really spurred this mentality is the way Gen Zs have grown in the social media age. They are more aware and tech savvy to understand what needs to be prioritized and which skills can be leveraged to their advantage.
Gen Zs are digital natives. Born between 1997 and 2012, this is the first generation which grew up completely on the internet. They did not grow up and then discovered social media and the internet. Right from day one, they have been plugged into the internet. That makes them very, very digitally savvy. And of course, this has both pros and cons. Pros, for instance, they're very comfortable online. They're very comfortable with fintech apps. They don't need to depend on traditional banking for their needs. They use social media very differently than the earlier generation. For instance, research has shown that this generation uses YouTube, TikTok, Instagram to learn new skills, to build their awareness, and to participate in social issues, not just for entertainment like the earlier generations, right? The cons, they also have shorter attention spans, they have more anxiety issues. All of that is true. But digital natives and the first truly internet generation is one factor we must keep in mind.
This mismatch between what Gen Z wants and what HR professionals think they want is significant. HR believes that company culture is Gen Z's top priority, but in reality, what Gen Z craves is a balance between culture and career progression. Yes, growth is key. 78% of Gen Z professionals will switch jobs because they are seeking career advancement. They want to see a clear path to promotion, hands-on learning opportunities, and a company culture that nurtures both personal and professional development. Gen Z is redefining what a productive workday looks like. For them, it's not about long hours or rigid routines. It's about efficiency. They want to complete routine tasks swiftly, then invest time in upskilling or creative problem solving without feeling overwhelmed. In a sense, they are reminding all of us that work should fit into life and not the other way around. And employers that adapt to these evolving expectations are more likely to retain this generation of talent.
The rise of the gig workforce, and that has impacted this generation's choices of work, life, and finances. By the time this generation was growing up, gig workforce was an accepted phenomenon. Imagine 30 years ago if somebody told you that I don't have a job, I'm just doing freelancing and a few assignments, you'd be scandalized. You'd be like, oh my God, what's wrong? But when for Gen Z, all of that had changed. Gig working was cool by the time they were getting into school, college, and workforce. So they focused on skills that can be leveraged versus careers that could be built and silos.
And let's not forget mental health, a non-negotiable for Gen Z. They expect employers to provide environment that support mental wellness. It's not just a perk, it's an expectation. The generation knows the toll that stress can take, and they prioritize jobs that help them manage it. A significant portion of Gen Z professionals, about 51%, are apprehensive about potential job losses as well, with 40% worried about securing positions in their desired fields upon entering the job market. Talent acquisition expert Deepa Premkumar believes COVID phase also had a significant role and impact on how Gen Z perceive the career progression, their professional development, which could be one of the reasons for their outlook on a lot of things.
But when COVID hit, Gen Z was finishing school, was finishing college, was just getting into their first job. Those pivotal moments was what was impacted by COVID, and they missed many developmental milestones and even social things like a graduation ceremony, like a farewell party, when many of them saw that their jobs had dried up, the offers were delayed, or even when they joined remotely and they were isolated. They did not get to meet their workforce, their teammates for at least a couple of years. Now, this has definitely impacted this generation differently than the others.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Gen Z has set a new standard for the workplace, one that prioritizes balance, growth, and personal fulfillment over traditional markers of success. Companies that recognize this shift and make the necessary changes will be the ones that thrive. If you're an employer or recruiter, now is the time to act.
These are important considerations that the business and the HR leaders must take into account when they work with the Gen Z to ensure that they're able to get the best out of this talent pool.
Gen Z is calling for work culture that's flexible, supportive, and focused on growth, both personal and professional. So, are you ready to meet their expectations? For more such news, keep watching Live Mint.